All right, the Utah Jazz lose to the Spurs. Again, this is the Hoops Nerd postgame show. Let's talk about the Spurs before we talk about the Jazz. The big thing in this one is the Jazz got to face Victor Wembanyama. Again, last game they were up, and it was vintage Chris Paul that led the Spurs past the Jazz. Tonight, it was Victor Wembanyama who had just a monster night. Man, 14 threes for Victor Wembanyama in this one. He goes 6 for 14, 42%. It really feels like when he has his feet set and he's comfortable shooting, he's knocking it down, at least against Utah. 34 points, 2 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks. He was just absolutely in the Kevin Durant role tonight. He was awesome for this Spurs team. I love Stephon Castle, and he had a big night tonight. 23 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. He, 3 for 8 from 3 is a nice sign if you're a Spurs fan, and then just 9 for 20 from the field. He is just a solid player. And then Chris Paul, 14 points, 4 assists. He was just all around really good. And then you top things off. Champagny is a really good three-point shooter. He was 4 for 9, not surprising. And then Harrison Barnes, who won Player of the Week not too long ago, a quiet night, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He's just a player that helps you win games. He's really nice. So this Spurs team is going to continue to get better, but they're already they are now 10-8 on the season, I believe. So San Antonio is almost out of the lottery now, 10-8, which, by the way, if you're a Jazz fan, you're pretty excited because Minnesota lost again tonight. Minnesota has lost 3 in a row. That pick is going to Utah. It is now at 12. If you are a Jazz fan, you are a big-time Portland, Detroit, Chicago, and Sacramento fan, because if any of these teams can pass Minnesota, the better Utah's pick gets. So root for those teams and root for Minnesota to lose. It helps Utah in a big-time way. Could you imagine Utah getting 2 top 10 picks in this draft? How incredible would that be? For this one, the big story was Lauri Markkanen at the end of the game. Wembanyama banged knees with Lauri Markkanen, who was guarding Wembanyama. He goes down. But Markkanen in this one, 0 for 6 from 3, which is not characteristic of this season. Markkanen is having a career year shooting the 3, but tonight it was not as much. He got pushed into a few pull-up threes, which he is not good at. He is a catch-and-shoot three-point shooter, and he was 0 for 6, which was kind of the difference in this one, because this one was pretty close for a lot of the game. But, you'll see the score here. It's 13-point game, but it was really close until San Antonio pulled away right at the end. Also, 3 of those points was a Stephon Castle 3 with 5 seconds left. He got booed. But anyways, Markkanen goes 0 for 6 from 3 in this one, 5 for 14 from the field. So he actually went pretty well from the field, but not from 3. He did have 2 assists, 2 steals, and 8 rebounds. He's having a great season, especially shooting the 3. But with him banging knees, he had to be helped off the court. I don't know if the Jazz are going to risk anything. They are not interested in winning a lot of games. And so we probably won't see Markkanen for a little while. Man, my light is so bright. There. That's hurting my eyes. All right, so anyways, down goes Markkanen. That's too bad. Let's hope he's okay. It looked like it's probably something like a bone bruise or something like that for him. So we'll see what happens, but he's been playing really well. I don't know. Bone bruises hurt. We were talking about it on the live stream. One time when I was in Argentina on my mission, I had a guy hit me in the thigh with his knee. I did a front flip on the soccer field, and I had a bone bruise on my thigh. It hurt so bad, you guys. And I mean, obviously missionaries, we walked a lot, and I was limping for like a month and a half. I don't know what's going to happen to Markkanen. Maybe it wasn't that bad, but man, he got banged in the knee right on the side. It looked like it hurt. And you know what? Those Wembanyama knees have to be the boniest knees on this planet. He's like 7'9" or whatever the heck he is. Built like Jack Skellington. Those knees are probably sharp. So that had to hurt. Getting that right in the inside of your knee probably felt like when you're trying to stab into a T-bone. That's what it felt like. All right, John Collins continues to play just out of his mind for Utah. He is playing so well. I would not be surprised if he's someone that other teams look at for trading. I mean, there are some rumblings of some things with a Colin Sexton possible trade rumors. So we'll have to talk about that once I see something more solid. But 20 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists for John Collins. He's playing so well. And he's such a good dude, such a good leader, great locker room presence. You got to love John Collins. But yeah, just happy to see him playing so well and being a big part of what Utah does. I didn't realize it, but he missed a free throw. He had some sort of 30-something game free throw streak going on. Missed a couple tonight, but I didn't realize he was doing that well at the free throw line. Walker Kessler played again. He got 6 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks. He played pretty solid, although that minus 13, I guess, would disagree. But he's come back and played pretty well, and I'm actually pretty impressed that him and John Collins can play together. Look at that, +7 for John Collins. Pretty darn impressive stuff from him. But anyways, the fact that they're playing together is really nice. Is nice to see. And that the fact that John Collins is learning to play next to Kessler and Kessler learning to play next to John Collins. Nice development for Kessler on that, in that aspect. Colin Sexton just continues to play so well for Utah. Utah in the first half played extremely well, especially the first quarter. They're just playing well. The Jazz are so well coached. I know they're losing games. There's a talent gap there, which is intentional by Utah, especially with their bench. When you have like Johnny Juzang going, you can see that intentional stuff going on there. -17 for those 3 with Lauri, Markkanen. Kind of crazy. Bryce Sensabaugh -15, and he was 4 for 7 from 3. But anyways, Colin Sexton's playing so well. There's that hint of a little rumor out there. I think the Utah should trade him and get what they can, because this is peak right now for Colin Sexton. You're not going to get more for him than what you could get right now. And there's got to be some contenders out there that would love to bring on Colin Sexton. And this type of efficient scoring, I mean, look at this, 50, 40, 100. That's all-star caliber efficiency. And then 2 rebounds, 5 assists, no turnovers, only 2 fouls, 20 points. I mean, come on. That is really nice. So nice stuff. You bet there's some teams out there that are interested in what Colin Sexton brings. He's fantastic. Keyonte George was fantastic in the first quarter. He was absolutely electric. I think he scored something like 13 of the first 16 points for the Jazz, or something like 17, 18 points, whatever it was. He was knocking down threes. Tonight he goes 6 for 12 from 3, 50%. 56% from the field, 9 for 16. The thing that people will talk about, although one of these was a bad foul, was the turnovers. The turnovers were too high tonight, and that's where he's got to start growing. But what's really exciting is that he's getting 6 assists. He's averaging like 5 or 6 assists a game this season, while also his shooting stroke is just getting better and better. I mean, 50% from 3. He's getting so good, it gets scary in these games. The Jazz are actually going to win. But he is, honestly, figuring these things out in a really nice way, playing some really nice point guard. He runs a really nice pick and roll with whether it's John Collins, Walker Kessler, whoever. He threw multiple nice lobs tonight. In fact, let's just look. I don't even care if it gets demonetized. I want to show you guys what he is doing, because it's some pretty special stuff. Here we go. He actually sets up Markkanen more than anyone for these 3-point shots. But look at this pass. Holy smokes, look at this pass. So this is the 3. Oh, he misses the shot. So he sets him up, but then gets just like the perfect cutting pass. Sexton, 16-foot jump. He sets this up by setting it up to Sexton. This is one of those. That's a gimme, because that was 2 dribbles, I guess. But look at these alley-oops. So he's running the pick and roll with John Collins, throws it out to Sensabaugh, back to Key, who's going to throw the lob here to what a play there by Drew Eubanks, actually. And then here's another alley-oop to Eubanks. Watch him run the pick and roll here with Eubanks. Simple stuff, but he's setting it up in a nice way. That hesitation dribble sets that up. Collins, another nice lob here from Keyonte George. Oh, actually, that's just a nice cut. Look at the nice find. And then look at this one. Gets the screen, sees the opening. That's a nice entry pass, and then Collins makes the shot. So that's just an example of him doing every type of pass, whether it's lob dunks, entry passes, passes to the corner, passes to the three-point man. Within the offense, he's throwing it to the cutting. I mean, it's fantastic stuff, guys. This is what you want to see, because Utah is going to get a phenomenal player in this draft. It's going to happen. And Keyonte George is developing next to them. And Utah's trying to kind of have their cake and eat it too by playing Markkanen and Kessler and Sexton and all these guys. It's getting a little hairy because these standings are super tight. Utah sits at 5 right now. They don't want to be there. But Utah can get a player and put them next to Keyonte George. You can play Lauri Markkanen. You can play Walker Kessler. They're going to get Taylor Hendricks back next year, and he's going to develop. I kind of hope Taylor Hendricks eventually becomes the starting center for the Jazz at some point, depending on what they do with all these moves. It's exciting stuff. It's exciting stuff. It's a shame that Taylor Hendricks is not here to develop and learn some of those things, but he'll be back next year. And I have a feeling a lot of what they're doing now is going to continue next year because Utah is bringing in 3 draft picks again. And I don't know if Colin Sexton's going to be on this team. Jordan Clarkson, probably not. They are going to play these young guys. And then also Lauri Markkanen and Cooper Flagg when he's on the Utah Jazz, right? Shout out everyone who's been rooting for these losses. Guess what? It just gets more and more exciting. This season is rolling by so fast. Utah is now 4-13. That's 17 games in. What is... bring up the old calculator. 82 minus 17. 65 games left. So we are already something like a fourth of the way through. It's crazy how fast this season goes on. And the Jazz play tomorrow against Denver. No rest for the weary. All right, Johnny Juzang, he hit the first 3 he took, and then he missed 4 in a row. He was not playing particularly well. He was a minus 17. One of the things about Juzang is he can absolutely shoot it. And he actually does some nice things within the offense, moves the ball and things like that. But man, I don't know if defensively he's got it. Sorry, guys. It's just not very good defensively. And so that's something to watch. Can he improve there? Is it a strength thing? Is it a quickness thing? Is it just a basketball IQ thing? I don't know. But we're not seeing very good defense when he's on the floor. Isaiah Collier, they're just flat out not guarding him when he shoots the ball. He was 0 for 2. He did get to the hoop at times, but word is out on him, and they are just not guarding him, especially at the three-point line. They're just letting him take it. And, I don't know if it's a confidence thing, but the minutes are going down a little bit because they're not guarding him. And that makes it hard for everyone else to shoot. So, man, oh man, does he have some gym work to do this offseason, or at least this year? All-Star break and all these things. Can he go and just work on the jump shot? Because that's what he needs to work on. Everything else is nice. The defense, I love the mentality. He gets in fights with guys. I love it. And you can tell he's like a funny guy. I don't know. I love Isaiah Collier, but man, does he need to learn how to shoot. That is prime issue number 1 for him. But he was a +2 in this one, so he does handle the ball and do some things. Drew Eubanks is the tank commander at this point when Jordan Clarkson isn't playing. He did go 4 for 5 with that nice lob, but he does make a few mistakes here and there. 4 turnovers for him. Anyways, I love Drew Eubanks going out there, but guess what? He was a +3, so I guess we can't say that. I love Drew Banks. I love Drew Eubanks. I hope he's on the Jazz for a while because he's fun. I don't know what it is. And he's helping us lose games, so I'll take it. Bryce Sensabaugh, 6 for 11 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3. Here is the conundrum of Bryce Sensabaugh. We're talking about it on the live. By the way, everyone go to playback.tv and follow SLC Dunk. You can watch the games live with me there. It's really fun. We just watch it together. We talk about things. It's fun. Get in there. It's a blast. But what we talked about during the live stream is that Bryce Sensabaugh goes, and maybe do you guys, let me know in the comments, do you like it when I simulcast so you can watch it live on the YouTube with me? Maybe you guys like that. I don't know. Let me know. I know some people would watch it on the YouTube, so if you're missing that, let me know in the comments. Anyways, Bryce Sensabaugh, 6 for 11 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3. He was absolutely shooting it incredible, but what happens is he's not a good, when it comes to ball handling, he does not secure the ball. He turns it over a lot, like 3 turnovers, and each of those turnovers was when he handled the ball. When he had the ball, they just absolutely went after it and stole it. So yeah, 3 turnovers from him, and let's see, 1 steal. Basically, all he did was score buckets. Sensabuckets is his name. He's fun to watch. It's nice to see him kind of have some moments and do some things, but this ball security is a little bit of an issue, and I think that's why he got rested before. But, with Markkanen out, we're going to probably see some more minutes for him. I don't know. Sorry. I doubt we see Markkanen tomorrow against Denver. So we'll see what happens. Guys, that was a fun game. That was fun. It's fun to see Key improving. It's fun to see John Collins having a monster season. And we're seeing some things from our rookies. I really miss Taylor Hendricks. Honestly, get well soon, Taylor Hendricks. I hope you just get better. It's a bummer that he got hurt, and so I'm missing him. It would be so great to see him in training camp for next season and playing with Cooper Flagg, right? That will be a blast. All right, guys. So, like we said, Utah lost tonight. Let's do a little bit of tank watch. So, we saw Houston beat Minnesota, which was really nice because guess what? Minnesota is now 8-9. They are now, what is that? A game and a half behind Dallas. A game and a half behind San Antonio. So what's nice is San Antonio beating Utah, for those who are rooting for the tank, is a double victory for Utah because that means it's even more space between Minnesota and them. Sacramento needs to get their stuff together and win some games. Holy cow, do they need to win some of these games. 8-10. And their schedule, I mean, I just don't have a lot of faith in them. They don't have enough shooting. The DeMar DeRozan signing was dumb. It was really dumb. And Keegan Murray is not playing particularly well this season, playing very timid. It's not great. Chicago gets the win tonight over the Washington Wizards. Like I said, guys, root for these teams. Hardcore. Got to root for these guys. Although the one you really got to look at is Sacramento. They are protected 1 through 12. At some point, they may tank. Chicago protected 1 through 10. They're sitting at 10. Holy cow. Are these guys playing with fire or what? And then Portland protected 1. They'll keep their pick. But anyways, these are the teams you got to root for. Detroit protected 1 through 13. I think I would not be surprised if Detroit passes up Minnesota. They're playing really well. Asar Thompson's back. Jaden Ivey is having a monster season. I think Jaden Ivey should win Most Improved Player. He looks really good. So nice to see. Let's play the music. So Utah is now sitting at 5, although they need to lose tomorrow night, which they will. We need Toronto to start winning some games and New Orleans to start winning some games. Freaking New Orleans being pathetic this season, but I'm sure they will. And I actually think Toronto will start winning too. They got Scotty Barnes back, so that's enough to win a few games, right? And Philadelphia, too. I mean, honestly, these 3 teams, I can see passing Utah up, but it's good for Utah to keep losing games and not screw this up. 2 games up on Charlotte. Keep that cushion, baby. All right, what would happen today if the lottery were today? That was a bad way to say that. All right, let's see. Oh, my gosh. San Antonio jumps 12 spots. Utah drops to 6. What a bummer. Could you imagine? They get it anyway. I would hate that more than anything in this world. But that's better than last time. We had number 7 last time. Number 6 is actually pretty decent. What that gets Utah is, at the very least, Trey Johnson or VJ Edgecombe. And I'm happy with that because Trey Johnson could be incredible next to... Holy cow, could you have Trey Johnson next to Key? What an offensive juggernaut that would be. Trey Johnson shooting 46% from 3 and breaking some records of KD there at Texas. He's awesome. Go watch some Trey Johnson film. Holy smokes. Got to be at least top 6. I'd like to be top 3, or top 4. Yegor Demon is going to be so fun. So anyways, lots of players to like in this draft, guys. Utah just has to keep on losing and hope that these other teams can start winning games. Holy cow, do they need them to win? Let's see, guys. Let's give a shout out to the All-Stars tonight. Thank you so much to everyone who supports the channel. If you're new here, like and subscribe to the channel. And if you would like to support the channel, please join. And if you join, you can be a rookie and be a part of the chat. You can also join the All-Stars and become a part of the show. All right, let's give a shout out to Ryan Edward Perry, the legend, Baby Elliot Madsen, see ya, Alexa later. Christian House Money to Haas, The Outlaw, Jesse James Nelson, Jordan the Goat Best Roll, Austin R. Grant Editor Extraordinaire, KG10 to TH5, and Patrick Akubo, the Connoisseur. Guys, like I said, like and subscribe to the channel. It's going really well for Utah, but they can't be screwing these things up. Utah should have lost their last game, but that's okay. They'll keep on losing. Philadelphia is going to win. Go Sixers. Go Pelicans. Go Raptors. And then go Portland, Detroit, Chicago, and Atlanta. All you guys got to win. Boom, Minnesota. All right, guys. I will talk to you next time.